So we are live now, and we are going to kick the ball rolling by having ourselves discuss our loves, our likes, just introducing ourselves in a very lovely way. And I'll be selfish to start with myself. So I'm going to start with myself. My name is Ruth Jonathan Sheza, or Ruth Abraham Okewa, the one you decide to give me. Please, I'm sorry. Have mercy on me. And I am a humanitarian, and I am a mother, a wife, a sister, a friend to both the male and the female. And I've had relationships before I was married. And good. Jama'a. Please, I'm sorry. Okay. Please pardon me. I need to lock my constituents out. Jama'a. Please, sorry, yo. Hungani is part of it. Okay. So like I said, I'm a humanitarian, I'm a wife, I'm a mother, of course I've been there. And then the long and short of it is that everything we are going to discuss here is something I at some point actually am open to. So I've actually probably seen it or maybe had experienced it. So this is a safe zone for everyone that is going to be here today. And I wish us a very good day. I love safety and security. That's actually my core in the humanitarian sector. But apart from that, I love everything that has to do with relationships. So this is me, and then I am happy to be here. Thank you for having me, and I'm your moderator for today. Thank you. Over to Mrs. Saratu.
Good evening, everyone. It's such a privilege to be in conversation with all these beautiful, beautiful ladies. My name is Saratu. I am a wife, a mother. I am also the project lead for Women Development, Women's Digital Futures Africa. Yeah, it's one of those evenings. I'm also a doctoral researcher in Cape Town currently. And like Ruth rightfully said, I have also experienced all the things we're going to talk about today, and I feel it is timely and a necessary conversation we need to have amongst ourselves, amongst young ladies, but not just ladies also, as a community, right? And I am so looking forward to being in conversation with everyone today. Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone listening to us and following us this evening. I'll pass it over to Janet. Sorry, Janet, you're muted. If Janet is having technical issues, maybe Joy, you can come in.
Yes, I think we should move to the next person.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
Good to connect with you all virtually. So, virtual hug. My name is Joy Hassan Amin. Presently and currently based here in Kano, Nigeria. I'm a development worker. I've been into this system for, let's just keep it 9 years. And I'm passionate about everything that has to do with women and girls. Okay, so I think God was so particular about that, and He gave me 3 beautiful girls. So anytime anything that has to do with girls, I really don't joke with it because I see them as the future. Okay, the future, not just of tomorrow, but the future the world needs now. So I'm into different activity. I combine both work and ministry, and so far it's been bliss. And I thank God for how far He has brought me. And it's wonderful to engage on this platform. And I know, and I hope, and I believe that it's going to be a blessing to everyone who will come in contact with this life today. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Mom. So who do we have next? Among our panelists,
Hello.
who do we have next? Hi,
Yeah.
Janet.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Evening,
I'm so sorry.
Janet.
The technical issues here that I had to sort out. So my name is Jane Yakubu, and I am so happy to be in this platform, and I don't take this for granted. I'm grateful for this opportunity to be here this evening and to learn from one another, and also to share my knowledge, to share from whatever it is I have that I believe would be of benefit to whoever or the large amounts of people listening to this now. So I am passionate about women, yes. Whenever I hear the word women, like there's just something, it's like a prompt, and then I just believe that there is more that we can achieve, there is more that we can know, there is more that we can do, there is more that we can be. And so it's become like a passion for me, or should I even say ministry. So wherever I get the opportunity to be in spaces like this, I don't take it for granted because I know I am not going to do the same. I am going to learn, and I am also going to unlearn and relearn a whole lot of things. So this is just what I have to say, and I can't wait to have the whole beautiful experience. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Good to have you here. Thank you, everyone. So I think last but not the least, I'm going to call on Miss Love to come and introduce herself before we continue into the session. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope we're all doing well. I'm just so happy to be here at this time, at this place, just to have this very important conversation. My name is Kauna. I'm a clinical psychologist, and I'm also the founder of Digital Rights and Mental Health Initiative, which Best Digital Futures Africa has been hosted. So I would say it's a great pleasure to just put this conversation out there. I'm also passionate about mental health, and that is why we keep having these conversations. I'm sure a lot of people keep saying, what are they all saying? But I think with these conversations, we've had a lot of results that comes out from this conversation, questions and all that. And for me, the little or the few we can be able to reach out to, it's such a blessing to just be able to share the little that we know, and together we make a difference. So of course, it's a women's conversation, but not also a women's conversation at the same time. It's also for the community as well, men, friends, brothers, fathers, just to understand what is happening in this time and era, and we can be able to protect ourselves a lot. So that is it from my end, and looking forward to engaging more as we continue. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have any other person on the panel list?
We
I think
have
we are complete.
Patience and Rhoda.
Already? I'm
Patience.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Patience or Rhoda. Please over to Patience, and after
Thank
Patience, we go.
Okay. Good evening, all.
Good
Good
evening.
I see our nice faces. My name is Injos. I'm a clinical psychologist. I've been in the rehabilitation center for a while. Now I'm currently working with girls, women and girls. That has been my passion, especially when it comes to all form of abuse. You always see me there. So currently, I'm the clinical psychologist of with Queens. Queens stands for um, Christian Women for Excellence and Empowerment in Nigeria Society. And I've been there for getting to 2 years now, and it has been going well. God is helping us, and that in this very great platform today, we work as team to be able to have a beautiful conversation where people will learn and unlearn, where our community that will be listening to us today, they should be able to be advocate for peace, advocate for women and girls and our brothers too. Everyone is passing through a lot, but because this is a community of women, we should be able to extend grace even to others, right? So it is my earnest desire that at the end of this program, the world will listen, the world will hear, and the world will receive healing in this big platform that we are. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to Rhoda. Hello.
I think Rhoda's internet, if she can hear us. Over to you. Introduce yourself, Rhoda.
Okay.
You're muted.
Yeah.
You're muted.
Okay. So we cannot wait. I don't know if she's trying to pick up, but we cannot be able to wait until she's here. But then we can always have her talk later. But for now, we need to continue so that we don't keep our listeners bored. So thank you all so much for introducing your beautiful selves. It's really loving and lovely at the same time to hear women as beautiful as this express who they are on a platform like this. I tell you, this is going to be very encouraging to a lot of young ladies out there who are trying to maneuver their way in life and understand what the future has in store for them. So without wasting much of our time, we are going to go straight into our discussion regarding love in the digital age when affection becomes data. And this session is for Saratu and Janet. So over to you, Saratu. You have 5 minutes to talk about love in the digital age. Thank you. And sorry, before we go further, our dear listeners, let me still welcome you again and again and again. We're so happy to have you. Please ask other people if you're here, like buy one and get one more free. Be here one and invite more people because this is going to be very, very much a rich session. If you have questions or concerns, perhaps you're not able to drop it on the link that we have shared to you before now. Please, you can still drop that comment or that question, especially if you want to remain anonymous. Please drop it in the link that was shared to you on either different platforms that we have or even personally. we're going to have a Q&A session towards the end of the meeting. So all your concerns and questions will be attended to, God willing. And then if you have further requests for assistance outside of here, we have Love that she's going to actually handle that as well. So please, I want to welcome all of you again. Are going to kick the ball rolling, starting with Miss Saratu at the moment. So over to you, Miss Saratu. Love in the digital age. Kick it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ruth. You know, I always say we live in very interesting times, right? Internet technology. I mean, some years back, our parents would probably have never imagined the way the world is so interconnected. Everything is fast. We're so connected in very new and interesting ways, right? And love is not excluded from this experience. When we talk about romantic connections, some time back, it would have been, you know, introductions from people you know in school, in your communities. It's an aunt that introduces you, a cousin tells you about someone. You know, the connections were slow, more organic. But now it's a click, it's a DM, it's a follow. Connections are very easy. It happens very easily. But meaningful connections, if I put it like that, is a whole different thing. And the way social media and these platforms are designed now, it's not accidental who you see on your screen, right? We have algorithms that recommend based on who you already have in your network, in your friends list, based on your interests, what you click, what you like. So there's a curation that happens that perhaps a lot of us are not aware of. And why is this important? It means that what you see on your screen, in a way, is informed by your habits, by your circle, right? And your boundaries in this age and time, it's very porous, if I'll put it like that. Because to be honest, a lot of us also don't utilize the tools that are available, not that they are even enough in the first place, but we don't utilize the tools that kind of guards in to a certain extent our boundaries. So everyone is accessible to you. Everyone can send you a DM. Everyone can, you know, you're always available almost to everybody online, right? Unlike before, when an introduction. And so for romantic connections, what I want to point out with this is a total stranger can end up being the most significant influence in a young woman's life in a very short time, right? And it's not turned out to be terrible all the time. They've been good stories. Connections have happened online, and you know, beautiful relationships have emerged from that. But there've also been very horrible stories, right? And that's why this conversation, we're bringing it around today, around Valentine's Day and the season of love, to bring awareness to the dangers that might lie, that especially our younger sisters, but not just only them, our younger sisters and our younger brothers might not be aware of. To say, you need to be aware of your boundaries. You need to know the dangers that exist. You need to know that anything you don't want in the public eye, you need to be conscious when you're sharing things. And that's not just only pictures, it's text message. We all know how very easily screenshots can be grabbed. Information can be deleted on your phone, but it can be stored elsewhere. You know, the internet, they say, never forgets. I might not be technical in that, but so the things we share, the people we connect with, the friendships we accept, those kind of inform our experiences in the relationship arena. And that's what we want to bring awareness of our communities too, that these platforms are not neutral. And that's not to say social media or technology is bad. Far from it. I'll be the last person to say that. We have a lot of long distance relationships that would not have been possible. That is possible because of social media. I'm not from that age and time, but I know those that experience love with the postal office might have a different story to tell us when you have to wait weeks and months for a letter to arrive. And today it's just a click and a phone. But that also brings up a lot of challenges with anxiety, with, with pressures, comparisons. We see a lot. Everybody looks happy. It's just you. Everybody looks like they have something going on for them. This Valentine is just me. Or there's a pressure of somebody asking you to prove your love this Valentine and send something you're not comfortable with. And it's like everybody's doing it, but just not just me. There's a lot of access, a whole lot of, overload of information that we need to take a step back, understand the dispensation that we are in, set healthy boundaries around us, have conversations like this. Let's normalize it so people don't feel like they're alone. People don't make decisions, life-altering decisions based on isolated information, right? And as the rest of our panelists will expand on that, I'm sure we'll come back to it. But that's just my contribution to get this started, to understand how things have changed and are changing. And it's not all terrible. It's not to scare anyone, but it's to bring our awareness to the dangers that exist and the dynamics that exist around this change, and to know that these platforms are not neutral, right? Meaningful connections are very important. And I would hand it over now because I have a lot to say about that, and we'll come back to it. But I'll bring in Janet to shed some light on that.
All right. So just to add to what Sarah Tuye has said, she has said a whole lot. Like, she has said majority of the things I would have loved to share. But then I just want to add some things or elaborate on some few things. Now, just like she said, love before used to be very private. Like previous times, our parents, like I can remember when my dad was telling me about my mom, how they got to know each other. He said he would write a letter to her. He would write a letter to her, and then before the letter gets to her, she reads the letter, and then, she would keep it. It's private. So it's just between the both of them and whoever they decided to share it with. So that was how love used to be at that time. But then now it's just something else. Everything we do online, everything we do using our phones on social media, yeah, they call it private moments or private conversations, but it is not private in any way. It is not private in any way. The moment you pick your phone and you send a message to someone, it is no longer private because they are backed up, they are servers, and then you're sharing data, you're sharing information with not just yourself, with someone else. Whatever you post online, whatever video, picture, whatever it is you share, just know that it is not private, even if you're sharing it with just a person online. So that's one thing we should know. Like, our emotions these days or our love these days, we can't call it private because it is now information. So we can just see our love now, like, okay, this love now that we're saying I love you between two persons, and you're sending messages, videos, phone calls. Can you imagine, like, you're talking on a phone, they can be able to track how long the conversation has been. They can be able to tell the kind of conversations you have. They can be able to tell when last you spoke, even when you have misunderstandings, like your fights are in DMs, your anniversaries anniversary, you see anniversaries on Instagram posts or so, like misunderstandings, even breakup. When you break up, it's there in the chat. When you say I love you, when you say I miss you, it is all there in the chat. So it is not private. These are stored up data and information. And then it's just so alarming that most people, although I won't blame them, because of most people, they are ignorant of these things, but most people, it is something that we are supposed to be very conscious of, that whatever it is we do online, whatever it is we choose to post or we choose to share, either publicly or privately, we should ask ourselves this question. We should like pause for a moment to ask, okay, if this thing should go out or should leak, like, what is it going to cost me as a person? What is it going to cost me as a person? Is it going to tamper with my reputation? Is it going to bring about, how is it going to affect me? This is the question that we should ask ourselves. I always ask myself this question before I post anything, before I send any message, before I engage anyone in any conversation or share any information with anybody, because they are implicating either positively or negatively. And another thing I used to ask myself is, when I go out, okay, let's say I post things, I do things online. When I get married, by the way, I'm not yet married. When I get married and I give birth to children, and just like the first person said, social media, they don't, whatever it is you share on the internet, in this digital platform, it doesn't disappear. It is there. It doesn't forget. You may even forget that you've posted anything, but it will bring you back to it. So I used to ask myself this question, like, okay, when I get married and I eventually have my kids, what if they stumble at something I won't share? Would they be proud of what their mother posted? Would they be proud of what their mother, like what she has been doing on social media? Or when I get married, or like my friends around me, I have younger ones too. So it's more like I'm very conscious of this thing. And also, I'm a young lady growing up, trying to build my career path and the rest. I would ask myself, whatever it is I share online, what if it affects me? What if it affects me in my maybe next job opportunity? I'm applying for a big role, I'm applying for a job, and then just something harmless I share on social media becomes a stumbling block for me. How am I going to defend that? So this is something that we should be very conscious of as ladies and men, like whoever is listening to this digital age is just, it's just something that, yes, you be free, you have fun, but then do it smartly, do it wisely, do it consciously. You don't just share everything online, and before you post anything online, you think, because the fact that it is called private doesn't make it private. And once those information go out, you should know that whatever it is you're sharing out, you're sharing data, you're sharing information, and once it gets out, there are people that screenshot those things. You may delete it, you may archive it, but there are people that will save it, there are people that will forward it. Messages now can be forwarded. There are people that will forward your messages. There are people that would store it and keep it. It's not everybody that is happy to see you grow or be prosperous. So there are people that will keep it. They will wait for you when you've reached this certain level. Then they will bring you. We've seen it online. We've seen it online. Like there are many people that they are doing well, and then all of a sudden, just something from their past or something they shared carelessly just pops up, and then it starts trending. And funny enough, this period, like on social media, it is things like this that even trend even more. It is things like this, like leaks and the rest. You just see it blows, it goes viral, and everybody is talking about it, and it gets out of your control. You can't even control it. So in a space whereby, or a platform whereby you cannot control what goes viral, I think it is just sensible and wise for you to just manage what you share online. Like, be very mindful of what you let outside there, even down to relationships. even down to relationships. So I have a lot to say too, but I'm still going to pause it for a while because I believe there are others that have things to say too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful session. As I can actually imagine what our participants are enjoying already as well. So next, without wasting much time, sorry, earlier I said we have 5 minutes and I forgot it was supposed to be 10 minutes, but then we are calling on Joy and Rhoda to talk about consent beyond the physical, digital consent and boundaries. So over to both of you. Thank you. Your time starts now.
Okay, good evening once again. Thank you very much for having me. So my colleagues have shared a lot actually. So when we talk about consent, right? We're talking about consent, and consent is just beyond physical intimacy. You know, the word consent is just to ask for permission or get someone's permission before you do something. So when we talk about digital consent, we're talking about, you know, get someone's permission before you share any content or anything that has to do with that person. But the truth about it is that what we are seeing today, when everything is just free to air, you see everything whenever our life basically, just like Sarah to have shared, is now online. Okay, even if you can just stay for long, weeks, months without seeing your friend physically, but then you can meet them online. It's a 247 kind of thing. You can meet them online, you interact online. However, is that what we're seeing today? Consent has become something that silence. It's no more about getting your permission. People say, okay, because they share it online, so they want everybody to have access to it. However, it's important that we get, consent from people or anyone before we share anything that has to do with them. Okay, and when you want to share something, I'm just going to give this scenario, which I know a lot of us are involved in. Let's just come down to WhatsApp. All right. So it's very common. It's very common that from nowhere you can just wake up and see yourself appear in a Facebook page or a WhatsApp group, right? You will just see yourself appear in a WhatsApp group. It has happened to me several times. And there are people that, okay, yeah, this may be, you say these are your friends, these are your family, which maybe they have shared it before and then they open a group. But in a group where you don't even know who opened that group, you don't even know the half or even almost all the members of that group. Nobody has told you anything. The only thing is that you see yourself in that group and then people begin to discuss. Now, something happened, some years ago, and someone opened a WhatsApp group. And when the person opened that WhatsApp group, I found out that some of my colleagues were part of that group. But we don't know who opened the WhatsApp group. We just saw the number. And the next thing was this particular person started sending news, some pornographic content, just some unimaginable things. And then as you know how phones are now, if you don't enable you don't off your media download, everything will get into your phone. I know a lady who had serious problem in her relationship, in her marriage, because of that. She just opened the moment I'm like over, I think at the moment she just on your data, over 20 videos and pictures just keep downloading. And then whenever you click on one, before you know it, everything is in your gallery. She was just confused, and because of the kind of nature of content, she had serious issues with her husband because she was wondering, what are you doing with this kind of thing? So this is how people really silence consent. They don't think it's something that they need to take permission from somebody just because I know this person, so you feel it's okay for you to do that. And then one thing we also have to understand is that when you ask for permission from somebody, it's important for you to get an affirmation before you go ahead. All right. A lot of people just assume when someone does not say anything, when someone does not respond yes or no, it's like a go ahead and share. You can get yourself in serious legal battles if you don't get that confirmation before you go ahead to do something. It's very, very important. And another thing that people tend to overlook when we talk about consent is, especially in this time and era, and I think this has to be a topic for maybe probably another time. Now that we have this AI search that everybody can just use can just take your face, your image, and then create something. I know of an actress here in Kano that was, I think her acting career just crumbled because of a picture that they used her face and then somebody that does not belong to her. Everybody, in fact, a lot of people did not believe that she was not the one. Now, in that particular, in this kind of thing, that a lot of times women are the target, and that is why we are, we want a lot of women to get involved, understanding that there is digital consent, okay? Because you see that, according to research, 98% of deepfake images are of women, and they are not just non-consensual, they are actually sexual image of women. Okay, 99% are of women. And then imagine you wake up one day and you see your face on a body that does not belong to you, and then in the worst kind of manner, which is not right. So I think getting ethical response is very important. It's important that before you share, and just like Janet has also shared, sometimes you have to control your privacy. I mean, you cannot you cannot just imagine or think for other people. Perception is different from reality. You might just say, oh, I'm just putting this picture out there and it's just for the fun of it. Somebody can just take it and try to, manipulate you around it. With my experience working with girls, we have had issues of trying to, settle cases of girls getting their images out. And it's important that before we don't even let it get to that level that people will have your private pictures. Okay, it's important that people get your consent, because sometimes we ladies, or should I say, we're just carried away when it comes to relationship. Oh, a girl is in love, she's carried away, and then someone or the person she's in love with begin to ask for some private pictures. And then when this person asks for private pictures, if she decides to say no, the question will be like, oh, you don't love me enough, you don't trust me. The truth is, you don't trust anybody. Sometimes you meet these people online and they have access to a lot of things about you. You send it to them, and before you know it, something will happen. But one thing I want to drop here is that just because you are in a possession of someone's private pictures, or someone's, some information that is private, or you're not given permission to share, it's an act of responsibility. It shows how responsible, how matured. It qualifies you as someone with integrity. But a lot of people feel it's like, okay, you have, a solid tool. They see it as a control, like a power. And then that is how they use it to blackmail a lot of people. They blackmail them by saying, okay, I have this, we have handled so many cases like this. And you begin to wonder why people will go that far. But then at the end of the day, it's their life, right? It's their life, and is their privacy. So just because they put it out there, even when you see people people sharing their content online, and then other people are talking about it, so they can come defend themselves, is not wrong. But people are like, okay, why did you put it online if you don't want us to talk? Yeah, so just because they put it online, even if you're going to talk, you should know what to say. All right, because if people do not give you permission, go ahead and share this, go ahead and tag me, even on just simple tags, that you feel, oh, it's just harmless. Just know that this is my cycle. Okay, this is my cycle. I know these people. Not just you see someone tagging you and then over almost 1,000 people on one tag because they want to sell market or something. I mean, I feel like we are really undermining this issue of consent, which is very important, and is something that a lot of people have to know. And like a lot of young girls know that even online, you should be able to give your consent, and then people should be able to take your permission before they share anything that has to do with you, or before you share anything that has to do with any other person. Even if you want to share someone's content, all right, you can also ask, or then copy that person and say, oh, this is from so person. Copy that person, acknowledge people. Don't just share. A lot of people are sharing posts that does not belong to them. Someone will take his time, do a beautiful write-up, and you just take it as your own. All right, which is very wrong. I think if a lot of people want to take legal actions, I'm sure so many will be trapped in this kind of situation. So it's very important that you get a yes before you share.
It's important that you ask before you share anything that has to do with somebody else. It's very, very important. And then it's also very important to, let people know that you want to do something, especially this WhatsApp. I think one of the things that always gets me on my nerve is this WhatsApp. In fact, I'm just talking about it just, I think yesterday, I saw myself in a WhatsApp group of almost 1,000 people. And this person sells something I don't even know. All right. I have seen where people use that medium to call, like scammers and hackers. Someone called me and said, "We are having an online meeting. Please, you should join." I said, "Well, I didn't see." And this is even a group that I know I belong to, but because we are so much in that group, so people can just use some of this medium to, to scam people, to harass people. So it's important that you seek consent. Please let us not undermine the issue of consent. It's very, very important. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to allow my colleague to continue from here so that I will not talk too much.
Evening, everyone. My name is Rhoda Ishaku Balami. I'm a student. I could not introduce myself since because of the network issues.
We can hear you, Rhoda.
I think she's
Okay.
lagging behind.
So,
Okay. You can go ahead. We can hear you. You can share.
okay. So, I'm still going to talk about the consent my colleague talked about. So, consent to me is more of like asking for permission before, doing something. Actually, courtesy demands that we ask for permission before doing anything, especially when it involves other people. So it's more of like asking, people for permission before you either post or, share anything related to them. But nowadays on social media, we just see random videos of people, random videos of unaware pictures of people and stuff like that. So it's more of like people don't even know they are on social media or they don't know that they are trending. It's more of they just take the videos without letting them know. And even if it's like an offensive picture or an offensive video, they still post it like that without even checking if the person looks good or it's giving a bad picture. So that's what we just see nowadays on social media. And it's more of like posting and adding people on groups also. I've seen that a lot. People just add me to random groups, even from school. So I'm like, I don't even know these groups exist. And I'm also going to talk about random people chatting. Yeah, it also happens too without consent. People don't ask you if you want to like talk to them, or they just chat you up randomly from groups. They also get your contact from groups mostly. So they just chat me and I'm like, I don't even know you. Why are you chatting me up? So consent to me is more of like asking people, okay, are you okay with this? Or can I use your video for something? Yeah, that's what I have to say.
Thank you so very much, Rhoda. Thank you, Joy and Rhoda. Beautiful session. I'm sure people are getting more and more enlightened with the use of consent, because this lack of consent has put people into plenty wahala. And just to add a little, I know the Social Media Rights Act and like use of media in general is coming to stay in Nigeria. and then it's actually happening in other places across the world. So for just take this webinar we are on, someone can pick a screenshot of us and use it on another platform. We can sue the person if the person did not ask us for content. It can go as petty, if we could use the word. So thank you for sharing such beautiful insights. We're still going to come back, so let's just keep brainstorming and thinking of more. We're going to attend to questions as well. So the next point here we are going to talk about is about psychological impact of social media validation on relationships and self-worth. And this session will be handled by Kauna and Patience.